Here we go. One step at a time, don't be living on the line. I don't need a friend, I got more than on the mind. Sunshine in my brain, making everyone complain. Radio in the heart, don't be being so strange. Think I'm losing it, baby, where have you been? Everybody says that you're moving.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's Sunday, April 9th, 2017, and we're going to be going over Litecoin today. Now, why Litecoin? Because you guys had recommended me do it in the comments section, and because I'm invested in Litecoin myself here, and I'm very curious as to what it's doing right now. So it'd be very good to know if it's going to go up more, because we were in the $10 range there for some time, and we could see it actually shot up to around $11 here, right at this high there, close to just shy of $12. Now, we can see that Litecoin is kind of going down, so we're thinking, oh no, right? We don't want to see that. We don't want it to keep falling down here and maybe go back to $4, but it's very possible. But help me make some sense as to an indication here due to technical analysis as to why it may go up. Now, that's what I'm going to do here. Now, let's look back here. You can see, if we were to zoom in, but just look here with your eye, right here, you can see a high here. Now this is a little M pattern, but you notice the right leg here of this M is lower than the left leg. So this creates a high here for us. It's a falling M. And it kind of rolled downward, but you can see this created the middle right there. So let's go ahead and take that right there as our high. And then over here, when Litecoin finally decided to shoot up because of the longer time frame, we looked and we saw that triangle, and it just shot up out of that triangle above $5 right there. And then it decided to go sideways because it said, I'm kind of far right. I've gone far right now, but what do I do? So it kind of hit the brakes. And then it decided to take a little sideways dip and then sideways there and took a deep breath before going straight up. Okay? So let's go ahead and use this significant breakout point, the first breakout, as our other area to draw a trend line. And let's move this right there. There we go. We're just kind of there. Now, if we connect those 2 points right there into the future, we can see a nice trend line. Okay? Very nice trend line. Now, what would this be doing for us right in here? Just finding support? Is it just going to come down here? You can see it seesawing its way down. Is it just going to bounce on this trend line before breaking it downward, or maybe going up? Well, if you've seen my previous videos, I've always talked about these right here. See how it went down there? What did it do here? Went up. And what's it doing here? Now, can you kind of see what's happening now that I put a nice color here? Maybe we're going to get this. Now look at that beautiful W. Very cool, right? So it very well could be that we find support here on this trend line connecting these highs here upward, and that would actually save us here and help our investment go back upward there, and it would kind of fulfill a W pattern there. Now it could create a double top here, testing this high here of the W over here on the left hand side, or it can continue to go upward. And if it does, that's really good. I've seen in the comment section where people believe that Litecoin is just going to keep going up some more there, and I hope so too. So this is why I'm trying to draw some technical analysis so we can kind of watch this into the future, because we really don't know. There's a lot of things going on with cryptocurrencies, and they're very erratic. They can move any which way sometimes, but by drawing these patterns and these trend lines and finding these key levels, it kind of helps ground us and make some sense out of this market, which is so important for us who are actually watching these markets live and holding on to our investments. Okay, so with that being said, if it does go downward, down here, let me rewind just a tad there. If it does decide to go down here, we can look at a retest of this high, the first time it shot up in and around, $7.50. Okay, now let's hope it doesn't do that, because we do have a nice W pattern forming, right? So let's keep our eye on that. Now, what we have here, let's go ahead and open the longer term time frame for Litecoin. Now, I drew this down here this is a low, because you can see that it was going sideways here for a very long time. So this is a lot of touch points right in that bubble there. And then it touched this low right here. And this low made a what? A trend line. Now this trend line into the future, it breaks all the way this way. But let's look at the significant points. Let's draw them in purple, in which this trend line was touched. So you can see down here it went there, came up, actually broke right here, right? But then it hit the brakes and said, oh, sorry, because it found some resistance on this key low way back here. See that? Very cool, right? So this market doesn't just move random. It can be chaotic, but it does respect technical analysis. So you can see that it went up that high, but this was a trend line here into the future. It dipped below right here. When it did go upward, it shot up, but guess how high? Straight to that low, okay? And that low said, sorry, you're not coming above me, and smacked it right back down. And it did so. It respected it, and it fell below this red trend line again. And now when it fell below the red trend line, we have, I'll draw this in orange. We have this high right here. See how it knocked its head there on the trend line? Acted as a ceiling, fell down, respecting it, and then going sideways there. And then it tries another time, and it hits once more, and then falls. Then we finally had our breakout right there, right? But notice how this trend line from back here to here into the future has really been respected by Litecoin for some time now. So if we extend that further into the future, well, what do you know? It broke above this trend line here, and now it looks like it might be wanting to find some support on this trend line. So what we're looking at is maybe it's doing this. I'll draw a big picture of what it's doing because we really can't see it. It's all bunched together down there. But this is what it's kind of doing, right? Which we saw on the smaller time frame just a minute ago. And it might be doing this right here before going upward. But we saw a W pattern, right? So that's what we're hoping to get out of it. The right leg isn't quite yet there, but it kind of looks like that right now. And we're hoping that the right leg goes up, right? So keep that in mind there. Litecoin isn't necessarily moving where we can't gauge it and kind of put it in our bubble and say, we still know what you're doing, Litecoin. You can't do something that we're not aware of, okay? We got our bullseye, our eyes on the bullseye. So we have this little bubble here. Litecoin is shooting above. It's coming back down to test this red trend line, which is now being offered and turned into what? What we call support, right? So we'll draw that blue there, and hopefully it respects this blue support level. Let's do it a little lighter color there for our eyes. There we go, because Litecoin is dark blue. So if it does come back down, it's going to come down to this level here, bounce off it, and hopefully go up. Okay, keeping our investment safe. And you see also Litecoin is also testing this purple trend line back here, because it tested it one time right here, remember, before it fell sharply. But since Litecoin's doing really well and it's breaking highs and just kind of proud of itself going and shooting upward there, let's go ahead and project this purple trend line into the future. And now as we do that, let's get it straight here. Okay, that's about right. You can see that not only is it above this purple trend line, it's broken above this right here, this resistance level, and now sitting above it, kind of coming back down to test that level there, see? On the purple, projected into the future. It's also testing the red trend line, which has all these significant testing levels here, where we drew these circles onto the future. So we have double support, a double floor right there, Litecoin going up and just simply going back down to test both of these two levels here. So I would give Litecoin a lot of props if it broke these two strong, long-term significant trend lines that have been projected into the future and went downward towards our $5 mark. I really don't see that. So I do see it finding some support here. And let's go back and look at our Litecoin chart here. And it looks like this W pattern could be fulfilled. I'm a little bit more, I have a little bit more confidence in it. Plus we have a little shorter term trend line right here going up diagonally, giving us support. If we were to draw if we had enough data here, we can zoom out and then draw those big lines, and we'd see right where it's at, right around here, two more significant long-term support trend lines, right, acting as floors. So let's hope that this is the end of Litecoin's little downward movement there, and we know why it's going down, because it's going down to 3 trend lines, 2 significantly longer term ones that Litecoin has tested and respected very much so in the past, and now it's just finally broken above those levels and saying, hey, I need to go back down, touch those before leaping up, up, and away. Okay, that's my my best educated guess. I hope you like this demonstration on Litecoin, and if you do so, and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. I'm happy to have you join us here, and everybody else is. We have a great community of people and subscribers, as well as myself, involved in coming together and learning this technical analysis and growing and having some fun with that knowledge. You guys are going out there and doing amazing things. I thank you very much for your likes and your comments. I do read them all, and you see I do my best to try to comment back to you guys there. So thank you very much. I am listening to you. I had done this Litecoin because you guys asked me to do a video on Litecoin. So thank you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye-bye.